Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing and reviewing my latest obsession, my Bioshock EDC. But was this worth all of the work I put into shipwrecking it all? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to start with the knife. It is called the Mini Asticus from Civivi, and this is the version with the brass handle. Civivi is an extremely popular brand making knives that I'm sure some of you have heard, like the Elementum and the Baby Banter. This is a folding knife with a liner lock, and that means when the knife is open, it is locked into place with a piece of steel that lines the inside of the handle itself. To deploy the blade, you have a flipper tab here, and the blade runs on ball bearings, so it's very smooth to open and close. The blade length is 3.25 inches, and the knife has an overall length of 7.55 inches. The blade thickness is thin at 0.12 inches, and it features a hollow grind with a satin finish. The thin blade stock and the hollow grind make this a very slicey knife. Additionally, it gives you a good edge longevity as you resharpen the blade over the years. The spine part that you see here is referred to as a swedge, and it allows you to move through the material that you're cutting with better ease because the knife is not stopping on the spine. So let me show you the size comparison of this knife with the Baby Banter, the CJRB Pyrite, and the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. The blade steel is 10 CR15 CO MOV. And while I feel like I just said a bunch of nonsensical letters and numbers, let me break this down for you. Each letter refers to a certain element of the blade, and each number indicates how much of that element is in the alloy. This metal is made up of carbon, chromium, molybdenum, vanadium, cobalt, manganese, and phosphorus. And please, no summoning anything with the phosphorus. The blade steel is similar to VG10 in composition and performance. I've added a link to the complete detail and breakdown if you're curious and you like getting into the nitty-gritty. The overall benefits are that it resists corrosion extremely well, and it has good edge retention and is fairly tough. Some websites state that the blade shape is just standard, but to me it looks like a drop point, and that means the spine of the blade drops down to meet the tip of the blade. Drop point style blades are good for piercing due to having a nice sharp pointy tip, but it is also good for slicing due to the curved belly. The handle finish that you see here is different, obviously, than the finish that the knife comes with. The image that you see here is the original finish of the blade. It was a black hand-rubbed brass handle. Now, it looks radically different due to the shipwreck patina that I gave it. But more on the shipwrecking process at the end. This features a deep carry pocket clip, so it doesn't peek out of your pocket, and you can also switch it to the other side as well. And while the pocket clip sits on top of the scales rather than recessed in, they did add another screw on the side where the pocket clip isn't, so thankfully it doesn't look weird or like you lost something. Sadly, this knife is being discontinued. I was able to get it on sale for about $60, but depending on when you're watching this video, you may still be able to pick one up. It does come in other flavors as well, such as copper, wood, and a G10 handle option. I really like the sleek look of this knife. It has a really timeless aesthetic in my opinion, and I'm kind of sad it's being discontinued. There are a few things I noticed as feedback. The lock bar for the knife is a bit difficult for me to access as there really isn't a cutout in the handle, and it definitely isn't as prominent as like the one that the Cube Nova has, where then the lock bar is much easier to manipulate with one hand. The other thing, and this may be partially due to my small hands, but when I deploy the knife, I can't really rely on my finger strength, as you've probably noticed throughout this entire video. And the blade will only really open halfway. I have to add a bit of a wrist flick to get the blade to open all the way. So let me showcase the other additions that I have added here, and I wanted to get a specific bead for this that I found on Etsy. However, I did want to try to shipwreck one myself. This one is by Z&C Metalworks. Next, I wanted to showcase my matching flashlight, and it is from Caviso. It's a small flashlight measuring at 2.9 by 0.6 inches and weighing just 1.5 ounces. It is powered by a AAA battery, and it is an IPX8 waterproof. It also features a removable brass colored pocket clip, and I thought I might be able to shipwreck this, but I was unable to. It turns out that it's just a plated steel clip. This flashlight has two LED options, a Cree XP-G3 LED and the Nichia 219C LED. The main difference of these two are the beam distance and the color temperature. The Cree is your more traditional cool white LED, and it also has a longer max beam distance and a higher lumen count than the Nichia. And while the Cree may have given me a little more light, I went with the Nichia for aesthetic reasons. It has a more vintage warm color to the light that it emits, which I think fits my Bioshock style a little better. You can check out my other video on why you might want to carry a flashlight here. So the pen for my set is the Everyman Brass Mini Twist. This pen is about 5.11 inches long and actually weighs a bit more than most pens because it's brass. It weighs 1.8 ounces. This features a heavy-duty clip and comes with black ink, so if you want blue or another color, these luckily take other refills. I put a link to the page that outlines compatible refills and other info below. I've also done a review on a few pens in my collection as well, so help a girl out and throw me a lifesaver by checking them out, you know, for the algorithm. Now for a piece that I am actually pretty smitten with. The coin I specifically bought for the aesthetics and the theme. It is a J.L. Lawson & Co. Decision Maker coin. And even though it is made out of bronze and not brass, I still think it turned out pretty well with the shipwreck. I originally did this hoping it would fit with my copper set, but I think it actually fits better with the brass set, especially with the coloring. The last piece that makes me feel like this set really does come together is a hank that I've been wanting to pick up for a while now, and I finally bit the bullet. It is called the Decor V2 Hank by Elefanti Hanks on Etsy, and I had to get it for the Art Deco style, and I just love how it really ties the whole set together. So that's it. That's all I got. As always, I try to end with something inspirational, something nice because the flames just keep getting higher and higher. So my cheat code or inspiration for you all today is if you're like me, and you never knew there were different sides to tinfoil, then congratulations, we're both in the same club. The shiny side reflects the heat, so it is good for hot food, and for cold food, use the non-shiny side. So if you can, please subscribe or share my channel with your friends, I would appreciate it. It can really go a long way to help the channel grow, but it also helps more people find out about the EDC community. So thank you everyone for taking the time and making it to the end. My self-esteem thanks you. Oh my god, he just farted.
It was like a whisper one.
I know. Oh man, that's so bad. Like the Cube Nova, where the lock bar is very easy to manipulate with one hand. Whoop, nope. I'm not, yeah, well, big knife, small hands.